thought I had one. That's why I clandestinely put the phone down, because I'm like I'm gonna sneak up on it or something. If you've been watching, like I've been I'm mentioning lately how whenever I think I come across a demonic entity in a person, I'll hear it in the distance. They have a certain way they talk or make noise, really, until they acclimate themselves to the body. It's a lot of like, but I thought possibly I had one back there, so I thought I could trick it. So I started recording, kept the phone down at my hand, like that's gonna like do anything. They're gonna know. But once I got close to the woman, she was yelling at someone on the corner back there. Some people are just disturbed for different reasons, or upset about something, or having some kind of episode. So what I can't explain exactly what it is. It sounds like someone putting on tight clothes, like some person putting on clothes that's like size is too tight for them. It's like and then Latin, like a Latin word will be thrown out, or like, you know, English words as well. When they yell about pigs, it's always a dead giveaway. But yeah, whenever I see someone acting out or making noise in that way, I try to determine if it's a demon. But I only heard the yelling. I was trying to make out what she was saying, so I crossed the street there, turned the phone on, had it at my pointed down, as you saw there in the beginning. And when I got closer to her, she was carrying on about something, yelling at somebody back on the corner about something, I don't know. So no dice, no luck, you know. It's been like that lately, you know, it's been like that lately where they let these cars go by. It's like when I used to get them a lot, I wasn't filming. You know, I wasn't doing videos. Conveniently, right? Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you were talking to demons, right? But you just weren't filming it back. Okay. When I first started doing this, like, those kind of things mattered to me. I was worried about, like, being credible. And that's why it took me a long time to mention anything, because I wanted to have my friend who was with me through a lot of it, I wanted to get him to talk about it with me. And then after a while, it's like, I don't really care. It's not about if people believe you or not. You put the information out there, you throw the message in a bottle, and the right people are gonna just walk into it. I found that to be the way. That's how I find people online, or that's how I find even other creators on YouTube. I just kind of stumble into them. In this kind of thing, it's not like, you know, if you're like a video game channel or a movie channel where you're, you know, always looking at your analytics and trying to figure out how you can get more people or get more eyes on you. It's not that kind of mainstream thing. You can't do it that way. You know, I never, you know, tried to do it that way. As you can tell by the way I organize my stuff, because I don't have anything set up really for any rhyme or reason, and that's kind of a problem when I'm trying to find an older video. I'll always be like, hey, I did a video, and it's like, well, good luck finding it. So, I mean, I guess I could be a lot better with the organization situation, but yeah, the people, you're gonna find the messages and the ideas, you're gonna be led to it. You know, I went on a wild synchronicity chase last night. What I did, I was on X? Or was this actually on Paul? No, this was on X. I saw a picture, or someone put a screenshot from the movie Childhood's End of like the Devil Man. He looked like the guy from Legend. I thought that's what it was, because they said, yeah, it's a Childhood's End. I'm like, That's not that movie, that's Legend. That's the guy from Legend. But then looking at it, it's just the same kind of devil, you know. So I said, what the fuck is that? I've heard of the book, but I never read it. I didn't know it was like a parable about the sort of end times and stuff. And that's kind of what it turns out it is. I'm not going to summarize. You could find it yourself, like the synopsis of Childhood's End, the book, and then it was later made into a movie about a sci-fi channel. And basically the devil deceives the world into following him, like what the, you know, it says in Revelation, like that kind of thing. So I'm reading about that, and a plot point in it is that there's this guy in the movie, or someone, it might have been a guy or woman, who was first talking to the entities, the demonic entities, with a Ouija board. And that's where they first heard from these alien people, what they thought were aliens, or were calling aliens, giving them information. They were getting it through a Ouija board. And I started thinking about the Ouija board, and I'm like, do they still sell those? And they do. Because like they used to, it was like Parker Brothers makes those fucking things. And then I started thinking about my own history with it. And it's kind of crazy. This is like 7th grade. And I don't know how I got into it, but I got really into it. And at the time, I was thinking that I was talking to the dead. Like, wow, this is cool. You can talk to the dead. So I got all my friends into it. Kids in the neighborhood into it. I was doing it in school, and I got to a point, right, where not only did I not need the planchette, is that what's called, the planchette? I think that's what they call it. Not only did I not need that, but I didn't even need the board. Okay, I would just take a pen. You see me in the reflection? Hello. Mirrors. We carry a mirror all day, which isn't good because mirrors are how demons get to you, and we carry them all day. I'm not gonna get on that side quest, but yeah, I got really into doing it, and I was like, to a point, like I said, where I didn't need anything to make it happen. I was like on my desk at school with the pen, and I was going like that, and just holding it. And I remember this kid, his name was Jim too. He had a crucifix, right? And we were using his. I didn't realize the implications of this at the time. And he's holding the top of his chain, letting the crucifix kind of move around on the thing. So yeah, I remember that started in school, like 7th grade. So school was in session, and I remember I was still doing it that summer because we moved to the beach house. My parents we rented a beach house in the summer, and I moved up there in June actually, right when school ended. Like either a couple of days before school ended or a day after school ended. We moved into this beach house, and we lived there until September, or when school began. And I remember I was doing it there too, so it was a chunk of time. It was a chunk of time where I was like the Ouija board guy. Like that was my thing. You know, I was 14 or something like that, 7th grade. Probably just starting in music. Was I starting music? I think I did my first gig at 15. Yeah, it was just around the same time. So, and by gig, I mean it was like a church hall. It was a cool gig, but, you know, it wasn't... I didn't start doing nightclubs until I was like 18, maybe 17. Anyway, another fucking side quest that I can get off of these side quests so easy. So, yeah, so at some point, something happened to me. Because all I remember is being super into it, right? And talking to people about it and getting my friends into it. From that to not wanting them around me, not wanting them in the house, and like warning other people like against it. Like, oh, you can't mess with that. But I don't remember what happened exactly. So there was some kind of incident that went down. And I don't know what the fuck it was. It's obviously I'm having trouble remembering it, but there's a lot of shit like that with me, you know. A lot of compartmentalization as far as when I was younger. The way I often describe it when trying to remember like trauma stuff, like You know the memory's there, right? It's like a pile of dirty clothes in the room. You don't know exactly what's in there, like how many t-shirts or how many shorts or whatever. You just know it's dirty clothes, right? So I just stay away from it usually. Like, dirty clothes, I don't need to go there. And so that's how it gets with memories with me. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but I'm not going to go into them here. I've done videos about it, but you can't find them because I don't have a good organization system. Getting back to that, but so anyway, I started looking at the Ouija board, like the origins of it, and it's automatic writing. It's an old thing, like in magic circles for many years, but it's kind of nebulous as to when they started printing it on boards. I mean, commercially, they know where the first one was. I forget, St. Louis or something. I'll put it up on the screen. But it was popularized by a woman named Lenore Curran. And around World War I, she made it popular somehow. Started using it a lot, got notoriety for it. Was talking to these dead entities, or what she thought. And one in particular, what was his name? Polly something. Would send her messages that she would then write down, like things of poetry. Now, years later, they determined that she was possibly doing that as an altered personality because she had DID, which wasn't really well known back then, and I don't even think it was a thing. But the funny thing about her, about Lenore Curran, is she had dissociative identity disorder that she was diagnosed with after a nervous breakdown. She wanted to be a singer, took piano and voice lessons, was kicked out of school, failed out of school, came back and failed out again. There's a whole list of traits about this woman that's interesting, that kind of lines up with myself, like the whole list. And the most interesting commonality between me and Miss Curran is our name. My last name is Curran as well. So it's kind of creepy. Like, I was looking at, hey, how's it going, man? Have a good day. So I started off by looking at Childhood Zen, and it led me toward the Ouija board, and from the Ouija board I went to the Lenore Curran, and she's like me, basically, which is kind of weird. So synchronicities, which, this began with, or it started with an interest in the movie, and from there one thing went to another, and I usually, it's like a trail. This is not, the synchronicities really didn't start stacking up until I was brought to her name, and her, how adept she was with the Ouija board, and how she had mental health issues, had a nervous breakdown, all the similar things with me, up into the last name. So I'm still kind of studying about her situation. And usually when I get something that's a synchronicity, what I try to do is I try to follow it and see where it takes me. Like, all right, I'm seeing this car all the time. And where was this car? Oh, the car's in this movie. What is this movie? Let me check out this movie. And then I try to follow it like that. A lot of times I come up with a dead end. It just goes nowhere. I've never successfully followed a synchronicity to something that was profound or super meaningful in any way, but I still follow them. I feel like I'm being led. I'm being led by the singular consciousness, the God force, whatever it is, the source. We're led to these things, and that's what I started off here. I was talking about channels and certain people you're led to. So yeah, I brought it back around for a change. But lately I've been starting with something and then just pulling the train into a completely different station by the time I'm done. Sometimes I hold on to it though. Sometimes I hold on to the thread. Let's take a look at the mountains before we go in. Nice windy morning here. Like 6:30-ish. Oh, look at the sky, huh? Wow, looks cool. There's always very heavy cloud here, right over the mountains, you know. Always very heavy cloud. Looks nice though. How you doing, man? Yeah, they're always sitting like right there, right in the Project Bluebeam area. I haven't talked about my Project Bluebeam experience. I'm almost due to cycle that story around again. We'll have to get to that soon. I'll be back. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.